the movie.
Studio 666 is, of course, the movie made by Dave Grohl, who is a part of a band called the Foo Fighters.
Yep.
And they had a house, and they were like, you know what? It would be pretty cool if we got a bunch of Doritos and made a horror movie.
Here's Johnny.
It was a bunch of Doritos and beer.
Yeah.
That's all I saw on the counter.
A lot of Doritos.
Lots of different kinds of beer. You had the Coors, you had the Budweiser, I saw some Voodoo Ranger.
I saw all the labels.
You had to see the label or else they wouldn't make money.
Yep.
What did you all think of it? What did you all expect going into it?
I didn't expect a whole lot, but then I got there. It was really good.
I had zero expectations. This movie's been out for like a month. Hunter called me last night and was like, hey, you want to go watch a movie? And I was like, sure. And I have no idea who the Foo Fighters are other than that they're a really good band, but I could not tell you any of their songs. So, hashtag Foo Fighters. All the Foo Fighter fans watching, yeah, I suck and I am the person who makes the videos on this channel. And remember to like and subscribe.
Even if I don't like Foo Fighters.
But, I mean, I did like the movie, so I actually dislike the Foo Fighters. They were just like the kind of music I listen to. But yeah, they did a pretty good job with this.
I know he wrote it because he came up with the idea when they were doing the album and all that stuff about them all going into the house and experiencing a demonic possession. And then him wanting to go solo and all that. I also was not expecting anything going into it because it's just the Foo Fighters. And all their music videos are weird, and I was expecting this movie to be weird, which it was weird.
It had some weird twists.
Yeah, it's weird, and it's comedic, and it's definitely Dave Grohl's funny bone just getting tapped the entire time.
Yeah.
And you know what? It kind of hit me.
They had some pretty good comedic timing. There's a pretty good vibe of like hangout. Like, hey, it's your group of guys, and we're all hanging out in this house. You could actually tell that these people have worked together for a very long time.
I kind of got a Rob Zombie twist about it too, with all the gore. Well, if you're not in the gore movies, I would not watch it.
One in particular, it's not like anything I've ever seen.
Fun that it's in a Foo Fighters horror comedy movie.
Let's just say it involves Whitney Cummings.
Literally Whitney.
Yeah, he's Cummings. I think the like other players like Whitney Cummings and Will Forte and
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie plays himself in probably the funniest part of the movie.
It's a total curveball and it's like out of left field, but that's why it's so funny.
The whole time they have a pretty good pitch of knowing how ridiculous the movie they're making is, and they're like very much in on the jokes, and like everybody's delivery is funny in itself. It's like we're trying to make you all laugh by the way we're saying these things, and I think that stuff was like done really well. You know, in a movie like this, they're gonna play up Dave Grohl being a narcissist and stuff because that's funny.
It feels like everyone in the band was like writing a little bit different parts for themselves. Yeah, that's kind of like what felt fun about it. It's like everyone knew what each other was good at and what would make the other one laugh. And I feel like they made the movie and now they're gonna sit back and watch every Halloween and they're gonna laugh their ass off because there's so many inside jokes. There's a lot of great on-screen chemistry, and I guess that's what the Foo Fighters are like, semi-famous for. How fun they are on stage and also like in their music videos. That really came out in the movie.
And also, Jeff Garland is in this movie.
Does he have fake teeth in this? Are those his real teeth?
He plays it pretty straight while also having fun and just letting it rip. The fights at the end are just so funny in terms of how it's just like playing up like it's Batman versus Superman, but it's like Studio 666 and it's literally Jeff Garland fighting Dave Grohl, and it's just so funny the way that they play it.
It's like an epic fight in a graveyard. It's awesome.
Just like the cuts and the motion, what they actually do in terms of fighting each other. In a movie that's kind of silly like this, you kind of have to see it. They did kind of, with the ending, I don't know if you all felt the same way. They made a couple decisions that I kind of wasn't on board with in the theater, mostly because I was having a fun time with everybody. They kind of make a couple decisions. People are less involved by the end of it based on a couple decisions. You're just kind of sitting there hoping that they come up with some BS excuse to have everybody come back together and have some fun. Even if it wouldn't have made sense, the fact that it wouldn't have made sense, I think would have made it really funny because that's kind of the vibe they have the whole movie. But yeah, throughout the movie, I was like, this is a solid 7 out of 10 movie.
So, like, I'm into the slasher films and all that stuff. The thing I liked about it, not one kill was the same. They're all very different.
I
was going to ask you about that because you've seen a lot of those.
But the only part that was basically the same is you. So.
They kind of like ignore it a little bit too.
That's like kind of funny in itself. It's like they clearly see it.
So they clearly see it, but they don't know what he was eating.
He's going crazy. He's eating a yeah. Like, they don't really know at that point.
What was the budget?
No, I was curious to know what the budget was.
Probably had to be a lot with Doritos and beer.
Doritos paid for the whole damn movie. I want some damn Doritos.
That's how I felt. Why didn't they sell them?
Studio 666 Doritos. That's not marketing well.
Get your Dave Grover Doritos.
Get your demonic possession Doritos.
I would have bought 6.
Now with extra demon. Flaming hot.
I assume it's not, $100 million, but for how cheap that it probably was, cheap being millions of dollars, it looked pretty great. Yeah. I will say, and all being filmed on one little property, little house line.
In terms of the horror elements, like the demons and the possessed people and all those kind of special effects that you need for a movie like this to work, they did a pretty good job on it. So yeah,
the only one I have to criticize is when the dude got electrocuted.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty bad.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, and that was at the very beginning too.
Yeah.
I was wondering why they. Right. Everything else looks so good.
The blue electricity is coming off. It looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm glad you said that.
It's like weird science.
I was thinking of that when we were watching it. I was like, that part was pretty awful. But I was having a good time because they were setting everything up so well. But it's like, that was the first kill in the movie, I think.
Yes.
Definitely the worst kill in the movie. But like, they got definitely better. As far as the rating goes,
I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Just because it did have some bad parts in it. It wasn't a terrible movie. Honestly, I think it's an above average movie. An average being 5. Not a whole lot above average. That's why I want to give it 6.
Yeah. For me, throughout the movie, like when it's doing the fun stuff, I'm like, this is easily a 7 out of 10. But then, like I said earlier, it kind of doesn't stick the landing, but it was overall a fun movie, so it was easily at least a 6. So I'm going to go with a 6. Fitting for Studio 666, I'm going to give it a 6.
Well, I've got to give it the final 6, so I'm going to have to give it 6. So we're going to have 6 sixes. 6 sixes?
2 6s and 1 6.5.
3 6s?
Yeah, Hunter saved us.
I could always give it a 6.6.
Don't do that.
No.
That's setting yourself up.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go
You could give it a 6.66 for beating.
Please do not do that.
Can I actually do that? I'm going to go with a 6.5 for mine as well. Because the same exact thing, when it's having fun, you're like, this is definitely a 7. This is like awesome. Everyone's having a good time. But then it has those blue electric parts and some of the other parts where it stumbles and you're like, maybe this isn't as good. So yeah, 6.5. Yeah.
So that was a movie, and I'm sure it'll be on one of these streaming services, or you can rent it on VOD. If you're into horror comedy and you like the Foo Fighters or you like the Foo Fighters, definitely check this out.
Yep.
I think you will have a good time.
I was like,